Blockbuster movies have been dominating the box office as of recent, since the early to late 2000s, and with the success of some of the main blockbuster franchises like the MCU or the Mission Impossible series, it begs the question critics have been asking since its inception: are blockbuster movies ruining cinema? In this video, I will be looking at both sides as well as giving my opinion because it's my video, so deal with it. But before we talk about blockbusters, we have to start at the beginning of movies as a whole because unfortunately this is a project. You could thank my teacher for that. I'm just playing, please give me an A, please, I need this. Back in the 1870s, the technical first movie or moving picture was a guy riding a horse, which is actually mentioned in an upcoming movie.
Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? And that man is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather.
But it wasn't until 1927 when the movie The Jazz Singer came out, and it was the first to incorporate sounds. Then in the 1940s is when they incorporated color. Side note, I didn't know what movie it showed a lot of films to be the first one in color. Surprisingly, the first blockbuster is Jaws, or at least that's what Google says. So, there's your history lesson. This is one of the main arguments, that there is more talent in other indie movies or older blockbusters than now. And I have to disagree with that statement. Sure, there are some stinkers in the pile, but there are some really great ones like The Avengers, John Wick, the Dark Knight trilogy, the Planet of the Apes series, or the one Pacific Rim movie, because there's only one, and there will only ever be one. Also, to negate that argument, do you know how many hours set designers, producers, VFX artists, screenwriters, directors, costume designers, cinematographers, editors, art directors, actors, the music team, production managers, prop masters, and location managers have been busting their kahunas for hours, days on end for this one movie? Saying that they don't try is a bit of a stretch. Now that my insanity brigade is over, let's get to the next topic. I actually kind of agree with this one. Rarely you'll ever hear about indie movies from China or India, which I can see why. Like, who the hell thinks of this? Or even here in the US, you always hear about that new action or horror movie coming out, but you'll never hear about movies like Parasite or The Boy in the Blue Striped Pajamas. But why people look at blockbusters more is good word of mouth. The average Joe doesn't listen to critics, but people around them. And how do you get them to talk? Obviously, it's a good trailer. We have been taking trailers for granted. Good trailers can get people talking, and therefore, word of the movie will spread like herpes. Look at Squid Game, for example. Back when it came out, it was the #1 TV show on Netflix because of its unique premise and good word of mouth. If studios did those two things, indie movies wouldn't be in the background as much. But I do know that some people don't care about good stories or characters, but just want to have a good time and watch things explode, which, respect to you. Anyways, they have the Oscars, so they'll be fine. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm pulling stuff out where the sun don't shine, but you'll be surprised how many critics agree with this. And I thought it was an interesting topic. I want you to hear someone's opinion on this, so I can give mine. This is Anthony Mackie. You've probably seen him, right? He's in one of the Blockbuster franchises, the MCU, and he has a stance on this topic. I'll let you hear him.
Going to the movies used to be an experience. It used to be a family affair. It used to be an event. Whereas now, if people will go see movies just because they said it's going to be #1, and everybody know the movie's bad.
I want to get on this topic, and that is, he said going to the movies used to be an experience or a family affair, but now it's different, and I absolutely disagree. Going to the movies is and always has been an experience, every important moment in my life has been defined by a movie, meaning stuff like graduating to 5th grade, day later, watch the movie, car crash into my house, don't ask, watch the movie, made me feel better, first date, went to the theaters. By the way, funny story, it was one of the weirdest experiences ever, because our parents were there, and I had my arm around her, so they were watching me through the whole movie. I think it was because I'm black. If you ask anyone, and I mean anyone, they'll tell you that the movie experience was a staple in their childhood.
You're now making movies for 16-year-olds and China. And that's it.
I find it funny that he says they only make movies for China and teenagers, which is true to other studios. But the one he's in now is the one that actually listens and cares about the fans the most. Why do you think they're so successful for so long?
Like, there are no movie stars anymore. Like, Anthony Mackie isn't a movie star. The Falcon is a movie star. And that's what's weird. It used to be with Tom Cruise and Will Smith and Stallone and Schwarzenegger. When you went to the movies, you went to go see the Stallone movie. You went to go see the Schwarzenegger movie. Now you go see X-Men. So the evolution of the superhero has meant the death of the movie star.
Is he serious? Do you know how many horny teenage girls go in to see a movie just to see Tom Holland because he's hot? It's not any different from back then when they would see a movie just for Stallone.
Stop remaking movies. Just, stop.
I actually really agree with this one. Not every movie needs to be remade. What's next? The Little Mermaid? Oh no. Oh God, no. In summary, blockbuster movies are important and they do contribute in some way. They do have their faults, and I agree it could use some changing. But there's something special about them that the audience love. I want you to hear this guy. He's the guy who works on the Transformers movies, which...
Bumblebee! Stop lubricating the man.
Get that thing to stop, huh?
Isn't universally loved, to say the least. But he has an opinion on blockbusters and critics as a whole.
I don't read the internet anymore, and I don't read critics. I was told they weren't nice. When I was vacationing down in Florida, many moms and dads came to me with the word, F those critics, screw those critics. These are nice people, and they're saying swear words while they're then talking about a critic. They're angry at them, critics, because they were being spoken down to. You shouldn't enjoy a fun movie. You shouldn't enjoy this. Word of mouth travels around the world in a very fast clip. If this movie was really as bad as they wrote about, then this would never made $600 million, ever, 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 because word of mouth would have killed it. I think these critics were born with the anti-fun gene. They're missing what audiences really want, This is simple, fun entertainment, and as Steven says, it's like a new film genre. Now, I didn't understand what he meant by this is a brand new film genre. He says, well, it hasn't been done before. They've never used robots like this as characters, and that's true, but I said it's not necessarily a new genre. I said to him, this is like an homage to E.T.
Why I showed this is because blockbusters are for people who want to enjoy themselves. They are a staple for people who want to kill a couple hours with their friends and family. In conclusion, no, blockbusters are not ruining movies. If anything, they're improving future directors to try something different. If all movies were like indie movies, we'd have the same argument now. It's healthy to have a mix of both. So the next time you see a blockbuster movie, watch it before instead of reading critics' reviews. Who knows? You just might like it.